Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV live on live on YouTube and Periscope. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're doing well. And welcome to episode 34 of a daily live chat with John. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and I'm not sure what the format of the program is. This is basically where I talk to you about the big news of the day, and also it's an open Q&A as well for that matter. So we get to talk about anything that you guys want to do within reason, of course. But as always, it's Friday night, of course, as well. So for those that are old enough to drink, click, clink, clink. So let's have a look to see who's in the chat. Chris, good evening, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Rick's come in. Hello, guys. Hope you're all right. Sophian's back. Hello, mate. Nick, yes, you can. You've been, yeah. Background things have changed slightly. But first, and as Sophian says, I was about to say it. Happy Friday, everybody. A couple of bits of information to talk about first and foremost. For those that are interested, apparently dentists are going to be opening within the next 2 weeks as well, for that matter. So that's really good. And I know a lot of people have been very, very worried about the state of their gums because we're all drinking a lot of very heavily sugar-based alcoholic drinks, shall we say, for a lot of the time. So I'm sure that dentists are going to be inundated as and when they're opening. I was actually talking to my barber earlier today when I went out to get a couple of drinks. He doesn't know when they're going to be reopening yet, but it's going to be it's interesting that the plans that are happening, because hairdressers and whatnot should be opening very soon, according to the Deputy Prime Minister. So maybe it's going to be by the end of April. That's right, end of June, I should say. Sophianne says I had an operation scheduled in April for his jaw. Vernon, hello, mate. Sorry I missed the last few. You go live at 10:30. I do watch them all back though. Thanks, Vernon. No problem, mate. It's not a problem. There's not everybody's. Or Fabian might be. Honestly, mate, come on. You had an operation at some point in this year. Now, guys, as we talked about, as I mentioned previously, I'm a big Formula One fan. Not as big as I used to, but I'm quite a big Formula One fan. And it was heartbreaking to see that McLaren were going to start losing, making people redundant, and because of what's going on, which is understandable. Nobody's buying supercars at the minute, apart from my git down the road neighbour. Bought himself a beautiful looking Lamborghini. Gorgeous thing it was, but it just looked pretentious when it's a soft top. But yeah, and now the Williams F1 team are up for sale, which is a real shame. It is a real shame. After they've suffered £13 million loss as a result of the coronavirus, and it's, even though Formula One's coming back in a couple of months, it's not going to be quick enough for them, unfortunately. And it's a real shame. But turning to stuff that I know you guys want to talk about, FA Cup. The quarterfinals will be start of the 27th and 28th of June. So basically all four clubs will be played over. All four matches, I should say, will be played over those 2 days. Let me know who you're looking out for in the FA Cup. Personally, because for those that have been watching this channel for a little while now, I do. I've got soft spot for Fulham, Sunderland, and the Geordies. And the Geordies are in the FA Cup, so I'm going to be watching those guys. It's but yeah, the FA Cup is coming back, as I say, the last weekend of June. The semi-finals are going to be in the on the 11th of July, and the final itself, to mark the end of the Premier League, is going to be the 1st of August. VAR, whether you like it or not, is going to be kept until the end, until the FA Cup final. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that as well. And bearing in mind, we'll come on to the fixtures in a minute, which we will talk about. I'm just waiting for a few more people to come in because I want to get a few people's opinions on things. Ginger Mark's in. Hello, mate. The crazy crew. Danny's in again. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Vernon says it hurts to see you drinking when it's not lunchtime here. Well, it's 25 to 7 in the evening over here, mate. So, but I'm hope you're keeping all right. Peter Jones, Alligator, hope you're all right. Sophie says, absolutely love the FA Cup, my favourite competition in football. Sweet. Eden's back in, Alligator. Sophie says, I'm going to be back in Newcastle. Hawaii, the lads, or is it Sunderland who say that? Both teams. And technically, the Smoggies, aka the Middlesbrough. It's Hawaii, not Hawaii, but yeah, not bad, mate, not bad. Gary Megson, hello, guys. I'm doing all right. Hope you're doing okay. But there's apparently so-called key matches are going to be played at neutral grounds. Now, this is where I take a bit of umbrage with it. Man City Liverpool is been earmarked for being played at neutral grounds, as is Man City Newcastle, Man United and Sheffield United, Newcastle and Liverpool, plus the Geordie, plus the Scouser derby, Everton versus Liverpool. But the venues aren't actually being confirmed as yet. But they're apparently looking to. They are the teams. That's right. They are the fixtures that are in consideration for being played at neutral territories. Gary says, "Hello, good evening." Len's in. Hello, mate. You might get me to start drinking early today. Still before 2 over here. Sophie, this is the thing I was coming to, mate. Aren't relegation matches key matches? Will they count? That's the thing. This is the argument. As it stands at the minute, London derbies aren't being played at neutral venues, which is a good thing to a degree. But yes, is it going to come down to the last game of the season for for quite a few teams, and therefore are they going to be played in neutral venues? This is interesting. Again, we're 3 weeks away before it starts, so as long as everything goes to plan in terms of the coronavirus levels and all that sort of stuff, then we will see this. We will see the football, which is good. I'm really absolutely loving it. Now, Sofian came quite nicely said about the Sky broadcasts, and I said that once we see more information about it, we will talk about it. And of course, we have that came out earlier today. Sky Sports have 64 games, 25 of which they will be broadcasting free to air. So basically on their free to air pick channel, which I never knew existed because I'm not a Sky customer, and also the games will be on their Premier League channels as well. So 25 free games on the Premier League channel and the free to air channel. 4 games being hosted by Amazon, 4 games being hosted by BBC for the first time since the 87-88 season, a long time ago. I know I was reading earlier today that Gary Lineker's absolutely buzzing to do this. He really is, and quite rightly so, because at the end of the day, that's what we used to do. You used to have Grandstand on, to having those sort of conversations about things as well and stuff. And back in those days, Andy, if he's in, will know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that. But it was interesting to see what happens with that. But yeah, as I said, and the remaining 20 games are going to be broadcast by BT. So we're going to be seeing everything on telly in various different guises on the various different platforms, but we won't miss a thing. Now, Sky Sports have also said, for that matter, that they're going to be introducing new innovations. Christ knows what those are going to be. More information is going to come out in the next few weeks, of course. The closer we get to the fixtures, the more information Sky Sports are going to give us. But it should be quite interesting to see, because they're trying to make people feel more included in the games than when you're just watching it at home. So it'd be interesting to see what they do. It'd be really, really interesting to see what they do. Eden says, if I think the key matches is because they believe fans will stand outside meetups up outside the stadium. But Eden, quite rightly so, 100% agree with you. And as Gio said in his video that went up early today, if people keep 2 meters apart, there is nothing people can do about it. Absolutely nothing anyone can do about it. Gary Page says Oggy is injured. Who replaces him? I haven't seen anything official to confirm he's been injured, mate. But that's the rumor that's been going around. Chris is back again. LMA. Foe says Balbrunner and Foe's back in as well. Hello, guys. Hope you're doing all right. Kent Hammers, hello, mate. How gutted must clubs season ticket holders be if clubs get to the FA Cup final but won't be able to go? I know, mate. That is a really, really random thing to think about. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That is something again that needs to be taken into consideration. Sofian says buzzing for the Premier League, especially on BBC and Amazon in particular. Sofian says Sky could show games in virtual reality, mate. They could. BT could. BT did it for the Champions League finals season before last, and I watched it in that. And I watched it in virtual reality. You had 6 views, one of which was the cameras down by the goal. Weird to say the least. Absolutely weird to say the least. Chris Houghton, favorite drink or food? And food, I should say. Favorite drink is Guinness, but when it comes to the summertime, it's Krabby's alcohol ginger beer, which is what I'm drinking at the minute, and Strongbow dark fruits. Other than that, it's always Guinness for me. And favorite food is curry. I absolutely love curry and pizza. If you can combine the two, I'll be very, very happy. Mark says, I think they might send us all beer and popcorn. Chris says, Sky Sports should use the red button for 3 p.m. live kickoffs. It's not. There's no point. There's no point because that's been disbanded. Apparently, the Premier League have refused the link to that, but they will. They'll do stuff now. That brings us round to quite rightly onto the next bit. We were going to talk about Premier League kickoffs have now been officially confirmed. I know that we talked about it the other day. There isn't going to be a shed the 5 or 6 games on the telly that they were talking about, but it's not far off. It's not far off. The Friday night game at 8:00. There are going to be 4 games being played on Saturdays, which is basically the normal times: 12, half 12. Sorry, yeah, half 12, 3:00, 5:30, and 8 p.m. On Sundays, again, the usual schedule: 12, 2, half 4, and 7. Monday night football, again, at 8:00. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, I should say, 6:00 and 8:00. So, changed a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty much as is, with the exception of including Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays football. Basically, that's the only thing that there's no real change from anything. Chris says Sky Sports should use. Sorry, I already read that. Peters, if the team supporters misbehaves outside the stadium, the team should be deducted 3 points. I think that's a bit harsh, mate. To be honest with you. Chris asks, how's my day's been? It's been all right. Not too bad for a Friday. Thank you very much. Vernon says, any news on Reed if he's staying in the US or coming back? Might need him if Oggy is out. That's the thing. Nothing's been confirmed yet. But as I say, with the football's got literally 3 weeks to go, so you never know. Once we do find out, what happens with that, then we'll obviously talk about it. Sofian says, Premier League every day. Get in, my son. Chris Eaton says, what's the most ugliest stadium to you, JP? St Andrews, Birmingham Stadium. Awful looking thing, that is. Awful looking thing. The majority of the other stadiums that I've been to all look all right. All look fine. Look nice. Sofian says, John, I think the Premier League will follow the Bundesliga. If crowds come outside the stadium, they will cancel the match. They do. But they can't do anything. If for example, if people are congregating on the grass outside the London Stadium as an example, and people are staying 2 meters apart, they can't do anything. They can't literally do anything. It's on council ground. It's not in having any impact in the stadium. The barriers will be up as they are when the stadium's closed anyway for end of season stuff. So I don't really see. I don't see the issue from one point of view. Yes, I know that we're having the venue where Liverpool's title winning games could be done in neutral venues, but people are too. Again, this harks. I hate to say it, but this harks back to the Hillsborough disaster. Pointing fingers at the supporters doesn't necessarily mean that's the truth. I would have hoped that people would have learnt from that. I really, really do. I know why people are asking it before anyone lambasts me about it, but it's just this. This is the thing. You can't prejudge automatically people because no two people think the same way. They will coerce each other to think in the same way, but no two people think in the same way. Chris says Pablo's learning English off The Simpsons. Chris says favorite away day in your lifetime is a playoff final, mate. Playoff final. Chris says favorite Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes Back. So he says, have you seen in another country, I think Denmark, they put a screen outside the stadium and people came in their cars to watch the game like a cinema? Yeah, do stuff like that. Do stuff like that. Yeah, I would agree with it. Gary Page says, X said offer for Jeremy less than 10 grand a week. Are they mad? Mate, he's unproven. We talked about this yesterday and quite a few times over the last few weeks, over the last week or so. He's unproven. He wants less than 10 grand. The club have offered him 5+ bonuses. He wants wants more than the club is offering, but less than 10 grand plus bonuses. They're going to meet in the middle. I will guarantee they're going to meet in the middle. Okay, so turning around to Rhonda and Tony Tanti's question on Wednesday's video, guys. I apologize for not talking about it yesterday, but I didn't want to know and didn't want to answer it yet until we had a confirmation of what was going on, and now we do. So buckle your seats, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to pay close attention, and I want to get your idea on everything here as well. Chris, please pay attention to what we're going to talk about here. So the fixtures are so far, bearing in mind these aren't confirmed as proper in stone yet. So when BT and Sky get their hands on the fixtures, these are subject to change. But so far, our home game against Wolves is on Saturday, the 20th of June. No time schedule has been confirmed yet. But there are rumours to float around that actually say we could actually be the Friday night game at 8 o'clock. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I will let you guys know on the day that I find out. Our next game is Spurs away on Saturday, the 27th of June. Chelsea at home 3 days later on Tuesday, the 27th of June. Geordies away on Saturday, the 4th of July. Burnley at home 3 days later again on the Tuesday, the 7th of July. And then 4 days later, we're away to Norwich on the 11th of July. Watford at home 4 days later, Tuesday the 14th. 3 days later, Tuesday the 14th of July. Man United away Saturday the 18th of July. Apologies for hitting the microphone. And the last game of the season is on a Saturday, randomly. Villa home 25th of July on the Saturday. So, guys, This is the crunch time. These are the fixtures that we've been given. So I'll read those out once again just to give you guys clarity because I know some of you are probably still eating. So Wolves at home either on the 20th or the 19th of June. We'll find out in the coming days. Spurs away on the 27th of June. Chelsea at home 3 days later on the 30th of June. Newcastle away 4th of July. Burnley at home 7th of July. Norwich away 11th of July. Watford at home Tuesday the 14th of July. Man United away 18th of July. Villa at home 25th of July. So let me know what you're thinking on those fixtures. Sophian says, what separates the elite from someone like Ngaki is that they're proven at the top and they're performing on a consistent basis. That's true. That's a good point. Sophian says, Christ Almighty, I'm not confident, John. I'm nervous, to be honest, and I still think we will go down. We could win 1 or 2 games, but I can't see it being enough. I'm still maintaining 9 points from those 9 games. I'm still maintaining that. That's what I reckon. So, guys, give me your answers and what you reckon is going to be on this. 13 points, JT. Who's JT? Who's JT? There's no JT in the conversation. There's no JT here, Mark. Gary says we don't do well playing games close together. Someone look it up. Worried? Yeah, we don't. But this is the whole point of why we have why the club has to have a 25-man team. Is so that you have the schedule, that you have enough rotation within the squad in order to do it. Vernon says relegation 5 days before my birthday. That will suck. Not necessarily, mate. I know why. Kent says injuries galore. Chris says predictions, Wolves will beat us 1-1. Fair enough. That's your prediction. Sophian says we are screwed. When we got relegated in 2011, I didn't remember a lot because I was young. This will be worse than then. Mate, it wasn't. I know a lot of people are crying and whatnot, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it's just. I mean, I wasn't in the best of frame of mind. Mark, if I ever meet you, sunshine, you look so like John Terry. In the words of Del Boy, the back of my hand will have a quiet word with your ear roll. It's rudeness on the biggest levels. Gary Page has 6 injuries after 1 week. Mark my words. Probably. Chris says Villa should be a win. Maybe United. Also, we should give Chelsea a go. Yeah. So I'm thinking 9 points from those 9 games. I'm not saying we're going to go get a point out of everything, because we're going to get 3 points from here and from one game and nothing from the other. So it's going to happen. But yeah, it's interesting. So guys, what else? Who else reckons the points? So come on, Sophie, and give us your points. Really, Sophian? Really? Neil Ross says, "Do you believe in the bookies?" This is the other thing that I want to talk about, which we'll come to in a minute, Neil. Ken Hammer says, "I think we will stay out by the skin of our teeth. It's all about bottle and keeping our nerve." Exactly. This is the thing. This is the thing. These fixtures are in our own hands now. It's as simple as that. I guarantee you, if we're not playing well against Wolves, Moyes will come out with one of the one or probably both of these excuses, right? It will say the players weren't used to playing in a quiet stadium with no crowd. 1. And 2, I think it will say that the players weren't fully fit enough. Now, as Gio quite rightly said in the video a little while ago, these fixtures and this time period will separate the teams that are prepared, and these are the teams that are going to be winging it. Well, I know Gio said that it would be separated between the pairs that are prepared and the teams that aren't. But for me, if you're not prepared, you're winging it, as far as I'm concerned. All right. So that's the thing. I honestly think if we see West Ham go all guns blazing against Wolves, bam, happy. We lose, I'll be happy, because you can see that there was a game plan, there was strategies, there was tactics. If we go out and we just mince around like we normally do, piss about with the ball, then there's been no change in tactics, and we are definitely going down. We are definitely going down if that's going to be the case. All right, let's see what your answers have been. Rick says he reckons 6 points from the 9 games. Sofian says 5 or 6. Actually, no, 4. Gary says, do you think the players will have to go all out for us? Yeah, already mentioned it. Vernon said, if we are starting without our Bono, Creswell and Antonio, we are at a massive disadvantage. Be lucky to get 10. Exactly, Vernon, which is why I said 9 points. Gary said, how many subs are we allowed? Now, if we're going to follow the same rules that the Bundesliga's done, right, we'll have a maximum of 5 substitutes being able to be used. 3 during the normal course of time, but from as usual. But from what I understand of it, you can do an extra 2 substitutes at half time. So that will help. That will help. Help with the formations and tactics and whatnot. Len says he's saying 11 points. He's been in an optimistic mood. Fair enough, mate. Joe Nye says t-shirt is awesome, JP. Thank you very much. He loves it. Brings out the blue in your eyes. Okay. Thank you. I've got 4 other colours of this, I should say, which you will see in various guises, but I over the time. But yeah, I absolutely love this. You see, this is what I was talking about yesterday about a 60s high neck. I really love these styles. Eden says, but the fitness level will be the same for everyone. It's up to preparedness. Agreed. That's the point. Chris says, be a dirty Scouser or a Geordie. Geordie all day long, mate. If my Mackham family side of the family here listen to this, apologies, but yeah, that's the choice. And Chris says, yeah, Geordie's for him. Vernon says, if Wolves annihilate us, our heads will be down and it will be a steep uphill battle. Agreed, 100%, mate. Jamie Betts, welcome back, mate. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're all right. But yeah, Vernon, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we mince her out with the ball, there's only one outcome. That's the problem. Gary says, what if you see 3 at the back first game? What will your action be? Gary, I won't be able to broadcast that. Again, we talked about it yesterday. I won't be able to broadcast my reaction to 3 or 5 at the back. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Kent Hammers says 10 points. Mark says, come on, we're going to wipe the floor with Wolves. I hope so, mate. I legitimately hope so. Every single game will be a live watch along with on this channel, right? Every single game, because obviously I can't go to the home games, and and hopefully my streaming service will be able to keep up with it all. So it will be either on the big screen here, or I'll be watching the monitor in front of the cam here. So one of the two. But yeah, don't miss it, guys. Apologies for the very, very loud can here. But yeah, don't miss it. It'll be one of the things that this channel is known for is for the watch alongs. Because we have good fun watching the games and talking about them live as they're happening. So at the end of the day, guys, you know, we'll have fun. So Sofian says West Ham relegation party on a Zoom call. Or Skype. Jamie says he's good. Yeah, we're all seems to be fine. Sofian says, is your shirt West Ham merch? No, this isn't West Ham merch at all. This is I bought this on a website called Adapter Clothing. Completely different. Chris Houghton says this country is funny, worth a watch. What country? What are you talking about? Vernon says, how much you drunk, Mark? When have we ever played well against them? Good point, Vern. Good point. Very, very good point. I think it's had more than I have, that's for sure. Sophie says, I just don't think these players have the ball. We can only wait and see. I am actually, to be honest with you, as much as I am quite apprehensive about relegation, and it worries the hell out of me. It really, really does worry the hell out of me, as it always does as a West Ham fan. I'm no more worried about it now than I have been at any other point over the last 25 years. It worries. I've always been worried about it. Always been worried about it. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Gary says, shame the club don't get a sponsor to pay for TVs on some of the seats for crowd zoom and good coverage. Chris said, we should get Sky as our sleeve sponsor. We would get more coverage on the games. Baron, hello, mate. Good to see you. We would get 8 points, I think, 2 wins and 2 draws. Also, what's your favourite pastime activity besides the guitar? Watching movies, listening to music, going out for walks. Neil Ross says he's got all 4 channels. Sweet, so have I. Claret Gruner, good to see you, mate. I haven't seen you for a while. So he means the comedy of this country. Ah, okay. I was going to say that makes a bit more sense. Mark says it's on my second bottle. So yeah, see, yeah, I told you. Well, in actual fact, I've had more than you. So yeah. Peter Jones says confident 10 points, maybe 11. Yeah, Neil, I know what you meant. BT's Amazon Sky. I know that's the 4 channels we were talking about. So don't worry about it, mate. Sophie said we went from top 6 to relegation. It's happened before. It's happened before numerous times. Now to come back round to what Neil was talking about earlier. Brighton and Hove magazine, independent magazine, I should say, have done an article on which makes more sense than the last time I referred to them. An article on Sky Bet's odds for relegations. Now it goes through everybody. We're only going to talk about 6 of these, okay? So I will put up I will put this up for you so you can read it along with me while we are going through it. I'll just zoom in a little bit for you so you can read it a little bit better. How's that looking? Is that better? Yeah, it's better. Okay. So Norwich are 1 to 10 to be relegated, which is completely understandable. You know, they're rock bottom at the table at the minute. 21, as I say, 21 points from 29 matches, 6 points behind Bournemouth, Watford, and us. So understandable. Villa are 2 to 5 with a game in hand, obviously, because those are going to be the earlier kickoffs when the football commences in 3 weeks' time. They're expected to restart the season against Sheffield United. Yep. If they win that, they move out the drop zone and 1 point behind Brighton, which puts us a little bit in precarious water. Bournemouth are 5 to 6, 27 points from 29 matches. Dangerous on their day, as they proved impressively by beating Brighton 3-1 earlier this season. Yet we all know how difficult Brighton can be to play against. You know, I mean, we won, lost, and drew with them all in one game when we played them away 3 seasons ago. West Ham are 7 to 4. And it doesn't really say much more on that. But yeah, those odds, I would agree. I would completely. None of this is difficult so far. Watford are 9 to 4 odds to be relegated. Yeah. Brighton are 11 to 4. So not that much better odds than us, but they are. And then, as I say, the Newcastle, etc., that's not really relevant to the rest of the conversation. But guys, do you agree that with those odds for those 6 teams? I mean, 7 to 4 for us to be relegated. I can understand that. I can understand that. Vernon says, best be spirits, Mark, not beer. Probably is beer. Fo says 10 points. On our Icelandic friend in. Got covered. Do you too, mate? Sophie and I've actually tasted beer before, ginger beer, quite nice, made me burp, made me feel like that guy from The Simpsons who always get drunk. Barney Rubble. Barney Gumball, I should say. Barney Rubble's a completely different character. So was it actually ginger beer, or was it like Sainsbury's ginger beer, which isn't actually alcoholic? Vernon's got to go to work. All right, mate, take care. See you tomorrow. Claret Green says, what do you think of the Bakayoko loan rumours? We talked about this yesterday, guys. I don't see a problem with it myself. Good player, might not be what we need, but is I'll be interested to see what happens if he does come in. Chris says, I was watching the highlights from previous games. Man, I want games back. 3 days, 21 days to go. I got to wait 22 days. I know we can't rush back, but it's annoying 22 more days. Well, no, it's the 19th, mate, so 21 days. Christian says, Homer, Sophie, and get. It's not Homer, it's Barney. Barney's the one that's always burping. Neil says, the one time I might have a problem with is 6 o'clock on Tuesday or Wednesday, but I can go to the bowling alley and watch it if I'm working. That's cool. I like that. Jamie says, I personally think we will be okay. I think they will come back and surprise us. Rice, Allaire, Boring, Anderson will be the standout. Boeing? Oh, Bowen, I think you mean. Sorry, not Boring. Bowen. I think Anderson will be the standout. I hope so, mate. I really, really hope so, because he's been getting on my tits this season. It really has been. But Jamie says, yeah, wishful thinking. Sophie said, as Ranieri said, don't believe the bookmakers. They said I would be the first to be sacked. That's when they won the Premier League. Was it like 2005, 10,000 to 1 or 5,000 to 1, whatever it was? Sophie said, I don't know, I got it from the corner shop, but it was nice. It wasn't alcoholic, so no, it's not ginger. It's not been the ginger beer that I've been drinking in that case, mate. But yeah. So yeah, as I say, I mean the odds for it are not too bad, if I'm honest with you. It's not too bad. I can't really say anything. I mean, I'm not a big betting man. I mean, maybe if Gio's watching or he's listening, might be able to give us a bit more points of how more realistic they are. But from my point of view, they seem all right. They seem fine. I wouldn't argue with any of those numbers in any shape or form. Really, really wouldn't. And the last thing that I want to talk about, guys, is next season. Now, there's an interesting article on WHU, actually, if I can find it. Let me just bring it up for you guys. Let's have a look. Where it says, yesterday, West Ham United supporters updated supporters with a new statement, not as far as I know, saying, now a proposed date for the restart of the 29-20 Premier League season has been provisionally agreed, and it has been confirmed that due to COVID-19, these games will take place without supporters present. The club will again directly contact fans by email over coming days. I believe that when I say it, because I've seen nothing from them over the last week and a half. With information regarding the credits and refunds process for season ticket holders, Club London members, and match tickets, respectively. We would like to reiterate to our supporters that they remain firmly at the heart of everything we do, and the club will do everything possible to ensure our players still feel their loyal and passionate support as we look to complete the 1920 season and climb the table. Bullshit. Quite frankly, bullshit. All they're going to want to do is they're going to want to make sure that we don't take the credit and we don't take the money back. Because it does actually, let me just bring up that article again, actually, because it does actually say that apparently the refunds, where are we? General season ticket holders could be due around £6 million in total in refunds. I'm sticking the total there and put it in there themselves for the remaining 5 games, while Club London members and matchday sponsors could be another £4 million in refunds, taking the total liability to £10 million that they're going to have to pay back. With serious cash flow problems, the club will be hoping many decide to support the club by using the credit option against next season's ticket. Well, that's what I'm going to be doing. That's certainly what I'm going to be doing. But apparently for next season, as it stands at the moment, because obviously the figures are getting fantastic things. Everything's getting a lot of things are getting better. The figures are getting better. I haven't seen today's yet, but in general, the figures are getting better. In terms of hospitalization, people that are dying, that they're nowhere near as high as they used to be. The cases are getting larger. but they're testing hundreds of thousands more people than they were. So as it stands at the minute, the Premier League CEO, if I remember correctly, did say that they are hoping to be able to get fans back into stadiums, but will be on a phased return basis, basically. So, be interesting to see what happens with season tickets for next season. Neil Ross says, I finished at 6, so that's why I'm in the bowling alley. Fair enough. Danny says, JP, have you been impressed with what we saw of the winter signings before footy was postponed? We only really made 2 decent signings, mate, and we haven't seen enough of either Souček or Bowen to make a educated guess as to how they're going to be. I've been impressed with both of them. Don't get me wrong, absolutely impressed with both of them. I just don't think we have seen enough. I always say you have to give a player a full season before you really make an assumption or an opinion on a player, because you have to. I know that's a bit contradictory, because I said to Nicky after the Brighton game at home that I'd lost patience with Allaire, and I did massively. Still not impressed with him, but I have to wait and see what he does for the next 9 games. Sofian says, La Liga is coming back June 11th, John. Yes, I know. We talked about that yesterday, and you talked about it yesterday as well. Sofian says, bye, John. Got to go. Enjoy your sleep, mate. D'Angelo, hello, mate. Good to see you back. Jared looks decent. Yeah, Bowen does look good. But yeah, so I will be on the front. I'll be on the blower again to the West Ham ticket office tomorrow morning, first thing, saying what the bloody hell are you lot playing at? I will be taking them to town. I really will, because it's not acceptable. 54,000 people on an emailing list, and they're not sending communications out to people properly. It's bad. It really is bad. I'm going to find out and say, what's the crack? So, but I will be having a go at them. I will be having a roll go at them. I mean, even if I have to publicly shame them, I will do, because it's unacceptable. Danny says, I understand that we need to see them a lot more to judge them properly, but from what I have seen, I am hopeful. Agreed. Me too, mate. Absolutely, me too. It's like with Pablo Fornals. I honestly think when he first played, I said, you can see there's a player in there, but we need to give him time. And then Chelsea away happened, and blam. He became a really good player. It wasn't legitimately live in night, because we'd seen him in the summer. Myself, I was on Hammer's chat in a couple of videos, actually. I think only one was actually uploaded, if I remember correctly. Because we did 5. 2 weren't uploaded because the audio was terrible. I was in 2 of them. And then we basically spent the entire day drinking. Gio, Ash, Baz, quite a few of us. And we ended up in Baton Ball in Stratford, while the the under 21s Euros were going on, and we were watching Fornals, and we were sitting there going, Jesus Christ, this kid can play. And he's he can do it. He can do it. So I'm hoping Souček and Rice will be an absolutely blinding combination together. I really hope they will be. Bowen, Antonio as maybe a second striker. With Fornals, and maybe having Snodgrass or Anderson out on the left. It'll be interesting. We've got a lot of things coming. As I say, in 3 weeks' time, we'll be able to. We'll literally tonight. 3 weeks. If our game is on that Friday night, this won't be on. We will. And actually, do you know? Actually, if it's going to be 8 o'clock, then we will. We'll have the daily live chat, and then we'll have and then we'll kick on to having the live watch along with. So yeah, you'll be sport for choice, all completely free as well for that, man. Just bear that in mind. Ari, didn't know you were in, mate, but hello. Hello, goodbye, as the Beatles used to say. All right, guys. So that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. So the floor is yours, guys. The floor is yours. So there's 19 people on the that's watching in a minute, and there's no, and so ask your questions, anything you want, absolutely anything. Danny says, I've seen some of the competition videos of Fornals on YouTube and his quality, and it's coming through for us. Yeah. So compilation videos, you should say, of Fornals. Yeah, compilations are they are the you've done a gonzo, as the term has been for the last year or so now, and he has been they are always share the best bits of it. You know, they are the best of stuff. But yeah, the kid's good. I've been banging the gong for him all season, and I really, really hope he kicks in for the next 9 games. And obviously, if we stay up, Souček is automatically a West Ham player for next season, because that's all been agreed to. And once we stay up, he's officially a West Ham player, which is so that's an added incentive really for us to stay up, I reckon. Jamie says, "What's your all-time favourite away kits?" Well, my all-time favourite is the 1980 FA Cup final kit. The day I was born. I haven't seen a shirt better than that. Not one. But second fiddle to that is the 99 to 2000. Which, by the way, you can buy the replica shirt in the link in the description below from the channel sponsor 3 Retro. Is the 99, the white Dr. Martin strip. I really like that. Really, really like that. Sophie come on from Periscope. Just finished dinner. You're still live? Yep, I'm live until 7:30, mate, as you always know. Danny says Roberto's compilations YouTube all of his calamities. Guy Wong, hello mate. Not watched for a while. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely fine. Your hair looks blinding compared to my mullet. I had the foresight to buy a pair of shearers, nice pair of Allens, just as everything started. And I shaved a little bit off more than I wanted to, and I actually went out today and put some sunglasses, and I thought, right, this is a Paolo Di Canio style length, so I might keep it like this. I actually did quite like it. But thanks, G. Good to see you, mate. I hope you're doing all right. Sophie says, what's your favorite? Who is your favorite player outside of West Ham? Oh God, I can't remember the kid's name. For the Premier League, it's can never remember the guy's name. It's the Wolves Spanish player. Really, really good player. They're Mark says, name 6 West Ham players who have played for Man City, past or present. I mean, obviously, David James is the first one that springs to mind, mate. The Welshman as well. He played for Man City and Newcastle. No, I'll have to come back to you about that, Mark. I can't remember all the Jota. Thank you very much, Jamie. That's the geezer. Thank you. Yeah, I love him. I think he's a brilliant player. Looking forward to seeing him. You see, that's the thing when we play Wolves is I'll be like, go on, mate. But you know, it's Bellas. Yes, thank you, Fo, and thank you, Neil. Len says, if we did get relegated, which player do you think would be the most important for us to keep that we could realistically be able to do so? Declan Rice, 100%. He's the keyest player that I honestly think will be going absolutely nowhere. Sophie says, do you think the biggest club in the world Who do you think is the biggest club in the world, other than Spanish or English clubs? Mm, AC Milan, Italian, for one. G says you should do a DIY haircut live tutorial on YouTube. No, I'm bloody not. I hate doing that. No way. I try and do you know what on my other channel, uh on my other channel I did a tutorial about lighting and it was awful. Absolutely awful. I did that 2 years ago, I think. It's good fun doing it, but getting the speed video and all that stuff. But oh dear. Kemi says Trevor Sinclair. Yep, true. Actually, you're right. JP Hammer, hello mate. Good to see you. Ain't seen you since the boats. Sinclair, Lomas, and Bishop. Yeah, totally right. Hey, here we go. Hope you're doing all right, Bazzy. Or Frankie, whichever one of you two runs the account. I'm guessing it's that. Hey JP, pick 3 players from West Ham, 1 to drink with, 1 to sell, stroke drop, and 1 to keep permanently. Well, to drink with, Noble. I'd love to go out for a beer with him. That'd be great fun. Sell, drop, Masuaku, and to keep permanently, Declan Rice. G Wong says Lomas, Bishops, Sinclair, and Zabaleta. Of course, Zabaleta. Yeah. So Mark says Sinclair, Bellamy, Lomas, Mark, Vivian, Foe, David James, and Zabaleta. Foe, I completely forgot about. Totally forgot about. Tea or coffee and how many sugars? Tea and none, because the tea I drink is herbal tea. And well, unless you're having breakfast, English tea, PG tips, etc. Anything else that's not like that, you should not have any milk or have any sugar with it in it because it's not designed for it. Len says, you think we would keep Rice if we went down? That would definitely soften the blow. Yeah, I honestly do, mate. I genuinely do. Yeah, it's Baz. Hello, mate. I hope you're all right. It's quite entertaining getting Frankie to rant Monday. But fair play to the boy. Fair play to the boy. Jamie, I would like to know if there is any club that had more sponsors go bust than us. It's a good point. Probably. I doubt it, but probably. Neil Ross says, didn't One Shot play for City? I think he did, mate, actually. Yeah, I think he did. Also, Berkovic played for City and us. Yeah, good point. You will have to join soon, mate. Let us know. Let us know when you want me on. Not a problem. G says also Berkovic. Yeah, we've already done that. So Sophian says, marry, avoid Karen Brady and Katie Hopkins. Jesus. It'd have to be avoid Brady and marry Katie Hopkins, I think. I can't say the other way around. I really, really can't. Oh, here we go. He's off. Look, he's drops his bomb and buggers off. See you, Baz. Thanks for popping in, sunshine. Don't give up your day job. But yeah, Baz, if you're still listening, mate, let us know when you want me on. Drop us a message. We'll sort something out. Not a problem. Be good fun. Mark says I did get a better question for next time. Right, so we've got 5 minutes left, guys. Let's just see if there's anything been popping up in the news recently that's worth talking about. Sophie said, by the way, I'm blocked by both Karen Braden and Hopkins on Twitter. I'm not surprised, mate. Most teenagers are. Quite an achievement, if you ask me. Jamie says, I've got to sort the kids out. Thanks for your time and another video. Appreciate it. Cheers. Be safe, everyone. Cheers, Jamie. Well, we're here every single evening at 6:30, mate. So come in. And Nasri, of course, Eden. Yeah, good point. Very good point. Our Icelandic friends, quite right. Twitter's for kids and losers. Yep. Anyone getting hammered tonight? Well, I've had two bottles of Krabbies, and I'm on to my first can of 4 dark fruits. So, for instance, Clichy did Gal Clichy play for West Ham? I don't remember him. I don't remember if he did. Might have been. Cheers, JP. Cheers, Pete. I ain't finished yet, but I actually might wrap it up there because it looks like no one else has got much to talk about because we've covered pretty much everything that people have been talking about for today. So yeah, I think we probably should round it up there. But guys, thanks very much for watching. As I say, go and drop a go check out the link for the sponsor. Get yourself some quality gear out of that as well, because any purchases that you guys make, the commission that the channel that we would normally get here I'll be donating directly to the NHS. We've only got £3 to so far, so I would like to get a bit more than that over to them, you know, because at the end of the day, even though some of their wages is paid for my taxes, I want us to get some decent stuff out there. And there's some really good gear in there as well, as we showed yesterday. I'm hoping some more stuff is going to come out because there's not a huge amount in there, but it's a nice knot. As I say, the Boys of 86 home and away gear are in there. The 99 to 2000 home and away kits are in there as well. The 88 to 99 is there as well. So because really good ones in there. So Neil Watts says, but the boxing fight, AJ or Tyson Fury. AJ is with Sky and Tyson is with BT. Who will get the rights? Good point. I honestly think Sky will win out on that because they'll be able to bid more money for it. Danny says, thanks, mate. Good one as always. Cheers, Danny. See you, Len. Hope you will be able to join us tomorrow. And thanks, Mark. Much appreciated. Have a good weekend yourself and hope to see you tomorrow night. But guys, as I said, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to know more, then by all means, please do consider subscribing. Let's try and get us up to that 1,600 subscriber count so I can do a live gig for yourself. Just something a little bit different, you know, just to keep the boredom from the door. As it stands, we still need 59 subscribers still, so you know we've got a long way to go. But guys, by all means, please do share this content with anybody that you know may want to watch it. Just isn't aware of the channel yet. You know, tweet it out on, you know, send it out on Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever. Just get it. It'd be nice to get some more subscribers on. So guys, thanks very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night, and enjoy the evening as well for that matter, because it's been beautiful weather today. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow evening.